It's your buddy, Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Here we are, Monday. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a safe day. So everybody, Big Johnny G, and today I want to talk to you about expansions. Oh, I love expansions. When they're right, when they're good. When they're not, they feel like a waste of my money. And time, because I have to spend time to find out I think it's a waste. But generally speaking, I do get excited about the idea of expansions. When I hear a game is going to have an expansion, I want to know more. Now, a lot of games do expansions. It's a good, easy way to continue a revenue coming in from the product. I have no problem with that. It also gives us players a way to advance the game a little bit, to get something new out of our experience, to keep it fresh. But some great games here in the collection that myself and the other 20-sided warriors enjoy playing don't have expansions. Or, well, one of them I'm going to mention does have a couple of small expansions. I just had some other ideas for expansions for it. And also, it's been a while since I've talked about this game, and it's kind of been itching the back of my brain a little bit. But first off, now, I'm just going to go over 3 games real quick so we don't end up taking forever, because I could go on forever on this. Maybe I'll do another episode of this later on down the road. But for right now, let's just go over 3 and kind of keep it tight. So this first game actually is still new. It's only been out of the market, I think at this point now, for a couple of months. But I've had a chance to play this several times before it even came out, because I was given an opportunity to do a showcase of it, but while it was still on Kickstarter. Now the game I'm talking about, Legends of Novus. Now, this is a really great world exploration fantasy-based game. And I love playing it. Helps that it can play one player. Now, the first of the 2 things that came to my mind with Legends of Novus is that it could use some small expansions first. Now, when I say small expansions, what I'm talking about, really what comes to my mind, is like booster packs that you get with collectible card games. So you'd have some the equivalent of, I realize some of the things I'm asking for here aren't the size of trading cards, but it's the idea, it's the concept here, that you would have sort of a booster pack of new heroes, new classes and advanced classes. And, of course, maybe a few new cards from the rest of the decks. You know, like new loot. And then the other thing I thought of is, after a few of the smaller expansions, to bring out the next big box set. Something that would be a new landmass. So this way you can have a completely different feel to it, while still maintaining the core of the game. Yeah, definitely. These smaller booster packs to start with, I think will be able to breathe a little bit of nice, new, fresh life into the game that isn't going to need it for a while, but when you get it, it's just like an extra serving. And the big box, that's where it's going to be a whole new, not new sort of game situation. A standalone, so to speak. One that can be played by itself or incorporated into both. And hey, what about something different for the second big box expansion after that? Maybe a third landmass, but the difference is change the game up. Keep it in the same world, but make it a war game, where now factions from each of these different worlds are in a new setting. It's still the same world, but there's been a war. Now, the next game I want to talk about is a small game. It's a 2-player game specifically, but I have ideas. Judge Dredd, Block War. This is a 2-player head-to-head game. This is a lot of fun. This is one of those bad guy games, because you're playing the perps. The judges are trying to stop both players. And both players are trying to stop the other player and the judges. We have a ton of fun playing this game. And I'm already thinking of expansions. Well, and it doesn't help, too, that expansions were mentioned in the rulebook. Now, I don't know what they have planned for any expansion that may or may not come out at this point. But I know a couple of things I would like to see. Obviously, first of all, I'd like to see some level of same. More perp cards, some more judge cards, some more judges themselves. I'd like to see the side judges be brought in, Judge Anderson. And that would add a new element to the game, adding a new mechanic, which would be a new sort of breath of fresh air in a sense. Something different in the rules, not just something different because it's a new character. But you know, that's something anybody can ask for. That sounds common. My other idea for it is a little different. I see an expansion. Maybe not the first expansion out of the gate. Leave that, like I said just before. A lot of new, the same stuff. A lot of new of what you already know, but here's more of it. You know, come out with a small little expansion like that. Perfect. But after that, what if you did something like turn this 2-player game into a 4-player game? Now, the way you play this on the table is that the players are facing each other, and they're putting their line of perps out, and the space in between is the street, and that's where the judge cards come. And depending on how the cards come out, the judges are facing you or they're facing your opponent. And there are also factors that you can get them to change their facing as well. That helps to make it a fairly well-balanced head-to-head 2-player game. So to make this 4-player, what if it was 4 quadrants? Almost like 4 corners in a street, and the judges are going up and down or across and back. Right? I think that'd be a really fun way to update it to a 4-player version while still keeping it able and balanced perfectly for the 2-player mode that it is at its heart. For now. Fallen Land. Yeah, I'll be the first one to admit it's been far too long since Fallen Land has hit the gaming table here. But that being said, and regardless, anyway, this is an amazing game and is still on my top list of games. This is definitely always going to be in my list of top games of all time thus far. And they have, this is what I mentioned in the beginning, they have a couple of expansions out already. And they have something else cooking up big. That you should go follow them on Facebook, and they do a lot of posting there, and you can keep an eye on what's happening with this post-apocalyptic sandbox open world survival game. Epic campaign style. Well, not campaign style, but epic card-driven, story-driven game of pure survival and humanity, really. Boils down exactly what the apocalypse is, in the sense that the same way zombie movies do. It's not about the zombies as much as it is about retaining and saving your humanity. And there's a lot of feel of that in Fallen Land. Now, as I said, they have a couple of small box expansions out. Something big you're going to want to check out. I was thinking that I would like to see a big box expansion, right? That falls into the category of a standalone game, but can be mixed and matched with the original. And I'm thinking Fallen Euro, or something along those lines. You want to be more specific, maybe Fallen Russia, Fallen Britain. You know, maybe that would make it a little bit easier because it is all based on a map of America. So maybe Europe would be a little bit too big. You want to break it down. Fallen France or something like that. But definitely would love to see a European style take on the game. I don't mean Euro gaming. I just mean the thought style, the way they engineer things, the way things look different. Things are built different. They have different shapes. They have different artistic qualities. I want to see that, plus the different mentalities. Now, something else, and this could touch with Fallen Euro, something else that gets touched upon in this game is when you're out scavenging and you're having encounters, there are some very high-tech secret facilities that you're going to run into that have not only cutting, bleeding-edge military tech, but they have alien tech as well. So here's an idea, an off-the-wall idea, something completely different. What if there was a companion-style game to Fallen Land, which was more player combat orientated, but instead of just player versus player, it's aliens. Now that the world is in this state, it would be that much easier for them to invade. Little do they know that the people that are still alive are some of the toughest, meanest sons of that those aliens could ever meet. Ooh, I just got some goosebumps. So, the 3 games that don't have expansions that I think do need expansions: Fallen Land, Legends of Novus, and Judge Dredd Block War. What games do you love, do you enjoy that don't have an expansion and you just wish they did? Let us know down in the comments. Alright everyone, thank you very much. I'm your buddy Big John G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I am out of here.